Hey guys, so this is the second time I'm recording this video because in the first one I just sound like a dumbass bitch. But I really want to do a story time, and another there's another story time that I'm going to do soon, which I really want to do. But I thought I'd do this one first before I forget it, which I won't. But still, that made no sense. But anyway, my two friends, I don't know if they want to be mentioned, so let's just call them Frank and Ben. So we wanted to do something, wanted to get drunk or whatever. So my friend Frank came and picked me up, and he was with Ben already. And they came to my house for a little bit because I was still eating. And then when I ate, we just went into his car and started driving. Was gonna go to like a parking lot or something. Yeah, chavvy. Just sit there until we figure out what to do. But basically, like when you go from my road, you go up and then go this way into another road, and it's like a long road. I was basically driving there, and my friend Frank went and stopped his car to the left because he wanted to reply to a message, and thank fuck he did that. And suddenly we see a dog on the road, and the dog is running across the road, going behind a car, nearly getting run over by a car, and they're just walking on this footpath. So my friend Frank went out to get it, and I see him with that dog, and he's trying to calm him down or whatever. So I went out too because I was a bit slow in what was happening because I'm a really slow person actually. So I walk up to Frank and the dog. The dog's called Theo, which I now know. Theo's just sitting there like really quiet but like really cute and shit, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, he was so sensible and stuff. I can hear something and it's probably the wind, but I'm shit scared of everything. Yeah, so I go, and Theo's trying to get into this random garden, and Frank's just standing there with him. So I go and I start playing with him and be like, hey, and stuff. And Frank goes and picks him up, and we get into the car. And I sit next to Frank, and he gives me the dog. We drive to. No, actually, first of all, we called my mum. I was like, Mum, I have a dog. And then we went outside the house, and I was like, Mum, come out. And she looked at the dog and she was like, what? And she just started stroking. I was like, good luck, dog. Yeah. And then we went to PDSA. And bear in mind, he had no lead or anything like that. One of us had to carry him the whole time. And it was Frank most of the time, so thanks, Frank. But we basically couldn't get into the vets, and we realised that there's a buzzer there, so we clicked it and they asked if we have an appointment, and I said no, we found a stray dog. So they let us in, and like a few minutes later, someone went to see us, and they let us into their office, and basically they filled out this form about like who found him, where, everything like that. After they filled that form in, they went and started scanning him for a microchip, and they couldn't find anything, but it beeped twice, so I don't know what that's about. So they were like, no, he's not microchipped, and I was like, his owners obviously don't care about him, and I was like, fuck. And then they told us who, I think, called the police or something, and no, I think it was the dog warrant at first. So I called the dog warrant, and because it was like an hour after their shift, they wouldn't come and get the dog. And I was a bit like, what the fuck, because it's their job and the dog could be in danger, and what happens if the dog's in danger and there's no one there to keep him? And basically at the vet also, the dog wouldn't be able to stay there. So like, what if there was actually an injured dog that needed to sleep somewhere? This needs to really be sorted out because it really pissed me off. So then we're just like standing there like, what else can we do? And the lady was like, I think, pushing the dog about because another lady came and she was like checking on him. She wasn't pushing him about, she was like checking on him. And then like suddenly she kept getting him to back off because he was like nearly falling off the table, and he started falling backwards off the table. And I think it was Frank who catched him. And I was like, oh my god, like that dog could have broken his leg. And then we basically asked them to give us some food for him, and some water, and he ate the food really quick. So I was like, oh my god, he's a stray dog. We're never gonna find anyone. And then they were on the phone to a bunch of people, and we couldn't get the dog to run around the vets because he didn't have a lead or anything. So we just kept having to hold him and make sure he doesn't fall off the table, which actually was pretty hard because he was really fidgety. So after this, we got told to go to the police and that there will be someone waiting for us there to take the dog in. So we went to the police and there was no one there. It was shut. We called the police. They said they wouldn't do anything about it because they don't take dogs anymore. And we were all like, what the fuck? We just got told to go there. And we sat outside with the dog, holding it for like 30 minutes, and then we gave up and went into the car because no one was coming. These ladies walked past us and didn't really give a shit. So I called my mum again and I was like, Mum, there's no way that dog's going to be able to sleep anywhere tonight. Like, I can't leave him on a street. And she kept saying how her and my dad are trying to sort something out and like call places. And he spoke to a guy at the council. And the guy at the council said to call the police, and then they called the police and said that they were misleading. And I was on the way back to mine. Well, not back to mine, but back to that street. And like my friend Frank was just like, okay, let's just leave him here because no one's going to take him. Because Frank, don't know if I already said this, Frank has 4 dogs and they're big. And his mum said no also. And then Ben, he has a cat or 2 or something like that. I was like, there's no way I'm leaving that dog here. I was like, go to my house. So we went to my house and I was like, even if he can't stay anywhere, he can just stay in my front garden because then I can at least have a look out at him, see what he's doing, make sure that someone comes tomorrow and picks him up. And then basically went to my house and we just put him in the back garden and gave him some food and water, and he ate it really quick again. So I was like, shit, he's a stray dog again. And I wrote a few Facebook posts about a dog which I found, which was him, Theo, and Instagram posts and everything like that, but no one was saying anything. And then my dad, I think, was on the phone to the police again, and they said that the council guy was misleading. And the police also said that if we want to be sure he doesn't get run over, to tie him up to a lamppost overnight and leave him there. What absolute cunt. And at that point I was just crying. My parents were like, it's fine, he'll stay in the shed. So we made him a bed in the shed. And I just sat there with him for a bit. Then me, Frank and Ben went out again, and then I came back and apparently the dog kept whining throughout the night, so they put the light, which I'm filming with, in the shed. And then I woke up and the dog people were going to come at like 8:30 again. So I was in the garden from like 7, I think. And then I came like 2 hours late or something. But they came and they were prepared for a really fucking huge dog, and they turned up and this is like a really small dog, and that dog was the friendliest fucking dog ever. It just kept sitting with me and I felt really close to it, and I was spending so much time with it. And then it destroyed 2 of my dog's balls, and then like the dog people were trying to get a photo of him, and he literally had like half of the ball hanging from his mouth in that photo. And then they microchipped him, and he had a chip. And then they scanned him, and he had a chip. It was just foreign. So they called the company, and then they basically went. And a few hours later, my dad was like, someone's going to call you, answer the phone. So I answered the phone, and it turned out to be the dog's owner. And she said that they were looking for him the whole night. His name's Theo. That they're really glad I found him. The dog people told them that I was basically taking really good care of him. Like, had my covers on him, and I was just sitting there with him for hours, and like, I don't know, I just really appreciated it. I was really happy. And he was also a stray that they just rescued from Spain, so that's why he had the little foreign chip thing, and they were just they were in the process of changing that. So then I inboxed the lady on Facebook, and I was like, "Is it your dog I found?" Because that day, like the day after, on my Facebook, people kept messaging me and being like, "Oh, it's this dog's woman. It's this, it's this woman's dog," because she wrote a post about him missing basically in the morning. So I messaged her, and then she messaged me back, and she was like, "Oh, so you know my son?" And she was like, "Oh, so you know my son, What a Small World." I didn't know his son. He was just a mutual friend. I've never spoke to him in my life, but then he messaged me and he was thanking me as well. And he said that because I basically told him I really loved his dog. I'm a really bad dog person, and so is my mum. And we wouldn't let anything happen to him, so we're just keeping him. And then, he said that basically because I really like his dog, next time he's walking him, he's gonna tell me and stuff, and I can see him. I was like, okay. But yeah, that was the end of it. But the thing is, when we actually got the dog, it was going into someone's front garden, and that's where them people live. That's where they said they lived, like around that area, which was like right next to me. So what if he was going into his owner's garden? We just took him. Or front garden, front garden. But I'm hoping that's not what happened. But either way, at least he was safe and didn't get run over by a car or stolen or some shit. So yeah, bye, and watch out for your dogs.